Hello everybody, welcome to Sam and Ham.
This is Sam.
And I'm Ham. Today we're going to be reading through some interesting homebrew.
Reading through some homebrew.
Yeah, have you ever been to the D&D Wiki?
No.
Good! There's a reason I don't tell you guys to go there. So, let me paint you a picture of a more young and naive Ham.
Okay.
So, years and years ago, when I was in my first 3.5 campaign,
Oof.
you know, I didn't know anything about D&D, and I went home and I wanted to learn more about this game. And what did I do? Like I do with every other video game that I play? I went and looked up stuff on the wiki. Because it has the most accurate information possible, right?
What? Wiki is a creditable source?
No! What are you, a teacher? So, I went and I was told we leveled up, and I told we got a new feat. And I was playing a druid at the time, and I found this feat that made it so I can make zombie dogs.
Zombie dogs?
Yeah, and lo and behold, when I brought it to my DM next session, he said, yeah, no, that's homebrew, I'm not allowing that. And I went, what? So
why would DMs not allow homebrew into their games?
Oh, you know damn well why I won't let you bring stuff in.
We'll pretend I don't.
Okay, fair. I haven't been on the D&D Wiki many years, not since that fated day. But, from what I remember, there was a lot of really bad, poorly balanced, cringy, not good stuff there. So, I figured it's been over 5 years. Let's see if there's anything still super bad. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's all really good, highly reputable stuff on the wiki now.
Do you think Wiki is now reputable?
Could be. I haven't been there. You haven't been there.
I'd be impressed by Wiki.
But in the off case that it isn't, let's have some fun with it. So,
Okay.
we are going to randomly find classes and races or subclasses on the D&D Wiki. We're going to be finding the random stuff with a random number generator.
I love the random number generators.
Dude, he's good. So between that and I'm just going to, at some point, close my eyes and jiggle the mouse around, and then you'll tell me when to stop.
Okay.
So, between that, we're going to hopefully find some random articles. And anytime one of them breaks one of our rules that we've got written down, we take a drink. With that, let's dive into this. First letter up. K. Classes with a K. Are there any? First, there are plenty.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's do the king.
No, it's got to be random even within the letter, alright?
Okay, well, how many Ks are there?
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So then we go. Number 8.
It'd be funny if it was king.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Damn it.
One off.
So close.
Alright, well, hey, it's based on an animal, so,
Yeah, I already started drinking.
yep, that's number 1.
Problem is this is supposedly a class, but it's a race.
Not gonna lie, I didn't think anybody would try to make me think they were a furry with a class, but there we are.
Oh,
I'm gonna be doing a lot of editing through here, by the way, so if we're quiet and just, like, think, that's fine.
well then, why did I put down the Cheez-Its?
I love you.
By the way, this episode's sponsored by Goldfish, the snack that smiles back. Goldfish, please sponsor us.
I'd be hyped. So, first thing I notice, these guys have a D8 hit die. They have proficiency with wisdom and charisma.
Okay.
And they have full spellcasting.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. They're pushing it with this whole 3 skills thing, though.
What 3 skills do we got? Choose 3 of the following. I could see it, though. Kitsune are typically fox cat people. They're good at survival, nature, and stealth. But I definitely know it's your variant human that typically gets 4 skills. Right? No, rogues get the 4 skills.
Yeah, rogues have 4 skills. Rangers actually get 3. So I guess it's not as crazy as I thought, but I think every other class gets 2.
Yeah, that sounds about right. How dare they get 1 more?
Let's
Drink for cause of anger.
Then let's start reading through this. Looks like a lot of tails.
A 3rd tail, a 5th tail, a 7th. So they're gonna be a 9 tail. Is this a Pokemon?
I think the Legend of the Nine-Tailed Fox goes a little bit before Ninetales. Not far. I'm sure it's only like a year or two. I see these guys are a charisma spellcaster. That's cool. They are spells known spellcasters, so they only get a certain amount that they know.
Okay, so they're along the lines of sorcerer.
Yes. They get a lot more spells known than sorcerer, I can tell you that much. But sorcerers are pretty low in the first place as it is.
So what kind of spells can they know?
Well, they actually get more spells known than even bards, so I'd say that's already pretty strong.
It is pretty strong, especially with that D8.
I'm going to say that's worthy of a drink.
That is worthy of a drink.
We'll put that on the list. It's
drink because you outbarded the bard.
Yes. They get cantrips. They get a crap ton of spells known. They have ritual casting.
I mean, can't everybody ritually cast, though?
No, actually.
Oh, just wizards and clerics?
Bards can. So I assume that's... I'm guessing they kind of copied a lot of this from Bard.
Everybody loves bards.
Especially the dragons.
Drink because of bards.
I'm there with you.
I'm gonna make up my own rules over here.
That's fair.
You can stick to your rules.
Sorcerers actually don't get ritual casting.
That makes sense. But I would think the wizards would. The clerics would because God.
It's true.
And bards because bards.
Oh, listen here.
Oh, listen.
Spellcasting focus. Magic for you is innate. You draw power from your tails. Because of this, you do not need a spellcasting focus in hand. Your tails are your focus for you.
So what happens when they cut off your tail, bud?
First off, probably bad. Second off, that's not okay.
Not okay because I brought up cutting off tails?
No. It's not okay that... So, in Pathfinder, there was a feat that you could take as any spellcaster, but it was one you got innately for being a sorcerer called Eschew Materials. Basically let you cast without having to use components.
Okay.
Mostly fluff, but it was a thing. The fact that they got rid of that, moving to 5th edition, kind of said that they don't like it being a thing.
Basically, you wanted everybody to have a focus.
Yeah.
Basically, that way people could be disarmed.
Yes. Which, there are a few subclasses that give you a couple of cool things, like the Armor Artificer, you can cast through your armor, or the Sword Bard can cast with their sword. But that's all from subclass. There's no class that gives anything like that. So that's what's a little weird there. Just as I'm reading farther down, remember how it said something about a third tail here? It doesn't list it as you're reading naturally.
Oh,
okay, I see what they've gone for. So it says spellcasting focus. This is your spellcasting still. Then it goes to your 3rd level archetype. 4th level, you get your ability score increase. 5th level, you get Fox's Cunning. You can take a bonus. Okay, so they get, the rogues, like Cunning action. They get that at level 5 for some reason.
Okay.
Totally cool. You're not generally supposed to get class features at level 5, except for, extra attack, but... And then, after they give you the level 5 ability, then they go back to your level 2 ability.
Oh! Gang. I think the Signs of Power are scaling all on their own. It's a separate list.
Yeah, actually, I see what... Okay, you're right. It's like Warlock's Invocations. I just wish they would have mentioned that at the time. I think it's drink-worthy that... There, didn't even have to convince you. I think it's bad design that they're giving these out at 4th, 8th, and all the levels where you get ability score improvements, because generally you're not supposed to get real class features then.
Some people like those big power-ups, man.
Yeah, just looking at the invocations that you get on a Warlock, they don't show up at those levels, so... And then I'm just looking at subclasses now. You can either be a Zenko, and you get Lay on Hands, or you can be a Yako. And a Yako has the strongest ability I think I've ever read in 5th edition.
Oh.
You can get into the head of your opponent and give them vision of your possible deaths. You can choose an action. You can choose to take an action to cloud the creature's mind with the many ways it will die within 60 feet. Weird wording, but okay. The target takes 3d8 psychic damage. No save, no attack roll, they just do. And then they have to make a DC 10 plus your wisdom plus proficiency bonus save, or be stunned until the end of your next turn. The damage increases at level 10 and level 15. So, not only no limits to how many times you can do this per day, they take the damage without fail. They can't miss. And the save, every spell save, any kind of save you have to make, is based off of 8 plus your stat plus proficiency, not 10. So this one typed 10, so it's just harder to make than any other save ever for no reason.
I feel like that's a drinking thing.
I think that's probably 2 drinks right there, just for making me read that.
Okay.
I don't really think there's much more worth reading here other than their spell list looks okay.
Okay.
I don't see anything that's inherently awful here, but I think we've read enough that's... I wouldn't allow this in any game.
So, on a score of, let's get this, thing legitimized to burn it down, you're giving it a 2.
Yeah, just for... Like, it's fine until you get to this fake fate ability, and then you just get sad.
Yeah, that definitely does not sound very balanced.
No. Alright, next one.
Sure. You start to think this is a bad idea.
No, this is great. Alright, next letter. Ready, go! S. Alright, we're looking for a race that starts with S.
A race? I thought we were doing a class.
We're going back and forth.
Oh! Fuck. Okay.
Alright, so there's a lot of S's here. So give me a number between, like...
Can I just pick one?
Sure.
I vote squirrel folk.
Do you want to get us killed?
Yes.
Alright, squirrel folk or squirrel folk? The variant squirrel folk.
No, just the standard.
Alright.
This would be my favorite class. Race. See, we're gonna get you killed by me killing you because you haven't allowed this yet. I wish to be a squirrel.
No.
I am a squirrel.
You're not.
Squirrel! Tell me more about squirrels.
Alright. So, they do have a pretty normal ability score increase. +2 to Dex. And then they get +1 from their sub-race, right?
First we need to point out that they're a race of small fur-covered humanoids. Small fur-covered humanoids.
With a striking resemblance to squirrels. Alright, but we gotta take at least a drink for this speed. Your base walking speed is 25 feet. If both your hands are free, you can run down all fours, increasing your running speed to 30 and granting you a climbing speed of 30 feet.
Okay, the climbing speed of 30 is nice for the race, but isn't it default that you go 30?
If you're a medium-sized race.
Okay, goblins I thought could go 30 too.
They can. They're fast.
I figured that the squirrel folk would just be a reskinned goblin.
You'd think. No. So basically, like Player's Handbook races, there are halflings and gnomes and dwarves all go 25 feet per turn. Everybody else does 30. So, like, back in Pathfinder, they actually had, like, They
had a feat that told you could go faster.
Well, they had a whole system in place for building your own races. It was kind of cool. Like, you basically had this many points to spend, and each point was spent doing different things. And for goblins, you had to spend points to move 30 feet per turn, essentially. Because as a small race, you're not supposed to.
That makes sense.
But I just think that's goofy, so that's a drink.
That's a drink. You should do the goblin speed. Squirrel folk should be goblin speed. They're just little furry goblins.
Fair.
Continue. We also have town squirrel folk and wild squirrel folk.
I love town travel. You can travel through towns at twice the normal rate. The distance you can jump is double while traversing buildings.
So they're the little man on the telephone pole that you watch while you're driving through towns.
I just love the idea of these guys just zooming through alleyways.
Zoom!
You have one fight in a town, they're running like Mach 5.
Imagine Town squirrel folk monk. Shadow monk.
You never catch them.
Never catch them. They're just running around on all fours, running up walls. They got that climb speed of 30 plus everything else.
Oh, and here's the wild squirrel folk. They get the same thing in woods.
Ah.
Brilliant.
We're never in the woods, though, so I mean...
10.
Why is this 10 out of 10? I give it 8.
Another drink.
I give it an 8. Just for the fact that it wasn't a reskin goblin. Goblin.
Your standards are low.
I liked the goblin.
That's fair.
The goblin is pretty standard.
I'm gonna go make another drink. You wanna
you wanna pause?
Spin the wheel.
Oh yeah, I'll spin the wheel. That was me spinning the wheel.
Oh.
Oh, we spin the wheel.
All right, next we're gonna try a feat.
A feat.
Yeah, I didn't mention that at the beginning, but I found out they have them.
So we're gonna do a letter O feat?
Yeah. So I'm gonna just spin and you tell me when to stop. Ready?
Okay.
Go.
Stop.
I panicked. Let's try that again.
Stop.
Alright, we ended up on 1 for all.
Gross. We all for 1. That's an A.
Alright. So first off, we drink because of the prerequisites.
We drink because of the prereqs. What are the prereqs?
These are some Pathfinder-ass prerequisites.
Gross.
You have to have Strength 17 or higher, Constitution 14 or higher, and be level 7 or higher.
Gross. When am I gonna be all 3?
If you're playing a fighter, I guess, and you get to high level, so, drink. So, here's an odd... Alright, listen to this shit. As a bonus action, you gain the following bonus. Your unarmed strikes increase by 1 die tier, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which basically means you go from a D4 to a D6, a D6 to a D8, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. I assume that's not really written in the rules anywhere, but that's how it worked in Pathfinder, so... Again, I'm pretty sure this guy read Pathfinder and just like, yeah, I can make a 5th edition feat. What of it? Also, on a hit, you must succeed a DC 8 plus your attack modifier plus your proficiency bonus.
That makes absolutely no sense.
No, because it doesn't say what kind of save you gotta make, right?
Mm-hmm.
It also, so your attack modifier, I assume they mean, like, strength.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe your attack bonus is strength plus proficiency, and then you add your proficiency again, which is stupid.
That is pretty stupid.
Also, it doesn't say what kind of save you gotta make, so...
I think honestly, that's like 3 drinks right there.
I think just this 1 feat alone would get somebody plastered. On a success, you take half of the damage you dealt. On a failure, you take full damage. Wait, so you punch somebody and you take all the damage?
If you miss.
But even if you succeed, you take half? What the
It is 1 for all.
I guess.
If you punch somebody, everybody's gonna get hurt.
Well, I guess we should probably keep reading. You can make your unarmed attacks create pressure waves, thus making them ranged attacks, 30-60 range.
So it makes you a mantis shrimp.
Yeah.
Pew pew.
Are you a druid that happens to know that mantis shrimps have the pew pew?
No, I'm just very skilled in the biology of mantis shrimps.
Ah, yes.
Which are the most unicornifically amazing creatures on the planet. If you don't know what a mantis shrimp is, look it up. The Oatmeal does amazing comics on it. The Oatmeal's great.
It also says the above ability still applies to the ranged attacks, but your damage does not increase. So it just has downside. This seems like they were trying to design a whole class, but they just put it in a feat. Oh boy. When making a long jump or a high jump, your strength score is doubled. You must succeed on a DC 8, your attack mod plus proficiency bonus. On a failure, you take damage equal to half the number of feet crossed. On a success, you take a quarter.
You just get hurt every time you try to do something with your feet?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is actually... I'm realizing now, this is a reference to My Hero Academia. So that's an anime reference, another drink.
We're up to like 6 now. Who's keeping count at home? Let us know in the comments if we're correct. I vote 6 drinks. Based on my arbitrary rules.
Because I remember the main character has a superpower called, like, One for All. And he breaks his bones a lot. Because he's too strong. And he's not used to the power.
Bones.
Bones.
Ouch.
And then you can rid yourself of these bonuses as an action. I don't... Let's move on from this awful, awful feat. Alright. You want to click a letter?
You said class. Click.
K.
K!
Oh boy. Let's...
K!
Wait, didn't we already have K?
No.
Because we were gonna do K... Yeah, we did the Kitsune.
Oh. Well then,
let's... Do it again, Alright, wait. You wanted King last time.
Yeah.
You want to do the King?
Yes! I want to do the King.
Meant to be. Meant to be. A young warrior in shiny plate armor, mounting his horse in front of its army.
I'm doing sound effects now. Let me know how it goes.
That's fair. Alright. They have a D8 hit die, which is a good place to start, because you can do pretty much anything with the D8 hit die. You can either be a full martial or a full spellcaster.
Yeah, that's pretty average.
They get light and medium armor, simple weapons.
Pretty average.
That's like a cleric.
You think the king would have martial weapons, though, just because kings are typically trained in the fighting?
You'd think.
But then again, I guess they're leaving it open to the king.
They don't have any spellcasting looking at ahead, but...
I was about to say, they probably leave it open for the king to spellcast, but I guess...
I'm kind of intrigued, actually. They get charisma and wisdom, which is fine, because charisma's bad and wisdom is good for saves. 2 skills from things that make sense. They could start with either leather armor, a scale mail, or a spear, a simple weapon, a dagger, a crossbow, quiver with a symbol of power, such as a crown. Man, these guys get messed up in the whole starting area. You don't even... You might get armor and a simple weapon. You get nothing. You're poor. This guy says he's a king. He's poor.
I'm assuming his kingdom was stolen from him. That's the backstory for every king from this class.
Oh my god, they have so many abilities. Alright.
Alright, let's break it down. What's the archetype?
The archetype is subclass. They have an ability just called royalty. They have advantage on persuasion checks with nobility, advantage on int checks for remembering heraldry in your royal trees, and you have intimidation checks when you use your royal authority to give an order to somebody.
So they just have the noble background feat.
Basically. But I kind of like it, actually. It's similar to what I did for the Death Knight, where you just give bonuses when you're doing stuff with undead. They just have it with royalty shit. They also get expertise in one skill of their choice. Or they can learn a tool or language. They are a confident warrior.
Which is funny because they have no weapons.
Ooh. They can choose a weapon they're proficient in and use charisma rather than strength or dexterity for it. And you can choose a different weapon with a long rest, which I think is cool. Because then you're not stuck with just one weapon forever, because it sucks when you're playing with, you know, I'm good with two-handers, and then you get a one-handed magic weapon, and you're like, well, crap. What do I do?
Versatile.
Yeah.
Continue.
They have Long Live the King.
Hoorah.
Whenever an attack would leave you to 0 hit points, you survive with 1 hit instead.
So they have the Barbarian.
Yeah. And then you get the spell Sanctuary cast on you.
Oh.
That's really strong. Like you said, that's a level 11 Barbarian feature. Not a fan.
That's a drink.
You vote. Alright, starting at 3rd level, you can use a bonus action to inspire somebody to use your charisma bonus as a bonus on their next attack roll or saving throw. So they can use a bonus action to give somebody basically Bardic Inspiration with no cooldown and no limits.
Oof. That's a drink. That's OP.
That's OP. Help? Help?
Help out.
That's a lot of drinks.
We're only at 2 so far.
Yeah, but we've done a few of these now. Whenever you finish a long rest, choose any skill. Whenever you make a roll with that skill, you may add your charisma modifier as a bonus to the result.
Self-bardic inspiration?
Kind of, but I actually kind of like that one.
That's a once per day thing.
Yeah. Well, so this class is actually way more interesting than I gave it, like, credit for when it first said king.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, that's a kind of cool ability. You're starting at a real disadvantage when you're starting with a D8 hit die on a martial character.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a rogue. Or a monk. Like, they have to really put some class features in there to make it worth it.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying their best here.
They are
What
trying.
really sells both of those is what you get at level 5. Because both of their level 5 abilities are really good.
Mm-hmm.
Stunning Strike and Uncanny Dodge. Fantastic abilities. So let's see what does the king get at level 5? Royal Command. So they don't even get extra attack. They just get Royal Command.
Mm-hmm.
Starting at 5th level, when you apply the help action to aid an ally attacking an enemy in combat, the ally may add your proficiency bonus to their own attack roll.
Ooh.
If your ally's attack is successful,
Mm-hmm.
you may make a single attack against that enemy immediately at the end of your ally's turn. No reaction required.
Ooh. I see.
That's interesting.
It is very interesting.
I don't think it's as good as Stunning Strike.
No.
Especially because, like, they didn't get anything to make their help action ranged. Like, Mastermind. Whichever rogue it is that gets ranged help. I think it's Mastermind.
That makes sense.
So you have to be in melee to use that. Or at least it has to be on a target within 5 feet of the person you're helping.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can make an attack. I think it should take a reaction, because why not? But, so this class is interesting. It's not as, like, OP or as awful as I really thought a class called King would be. I don't want to read the rest of it, because that's a lot of stuff.
It is a lot of stuff.
And I think we've had enough for this class. So are you ready to move on, or you want to keep reading?
I'm okay to move on as long as we double check Q and see if there's a queen. I want to compare the two while we're on the subject.
Oh, that's A, B, C, D, Q.
R. It's after R.
No queen.
No queen?
There is a class called Random Dice.
Gross. We'll see if R comes up.
Alright, let's go back to races.
Sure, if that's where we're at.
Let's go with L.
L,
L.
is for the way you look
Oh gosh, there's a lot of L races.
at L.
Give me a number. Or do you want to do the thing where I move up my mouse up and down? There's so many that's off the page.
I'm thinking of a number
Mm-hmm.
between
Yeah.
1 and 30.
27.
No, that's lower.
17.
Lower.
2.
Higher.
13.
Lower.
11.
Lower.
7?
Yes!
Yeah! Alright. 7 into L. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh god.
What is that?
Lapine!
Lapine?
Lapine.
Lapine?
Lapine.
Censored?
No. Sometimes called rabbit folk.
Ah! We did squirrels, now we're doing rabbits.
Yes.
Can we scroll
That's a
over to
drink.
pretty... Yes, 1 drink for it being a furry.
Yes. Actually pretty in-depth lore for a furry race.
Yeah, they have warrens, which is where rabbits typically live.
It's true.
Fun fact.
They list a whole bunch of names.
Oh.
For the ability score increase, they do dex, 2 to dex and 1 to wisdom, which is pretty normal. Alignment, lawful neutral. Size, medium. Base speed 35, which is pretty good. It's what wood elves average to. They get keen senses. That's a really normal ability for druids. Language of the hedgerow.
I want to point out the names that they've given are names from like Watership Down.
Watership Down?
Yeah, it's a book about rabbits.
Ah! I believe it. I'm guessing it's just like a whole bunch of Latin. If I had to guess. Language of hedgerow is just an ability to communicate with smaller beasts. Or any other of that are native to forests, woods, meadows, grasslands, deserts, and wetlands, or any other habitat which rabbits or hare are native to. That's a lot. Graceful athlete, you may use dexterity in place of your athletics score for all athletics checks. That's kind of boring, because now there's basically no reason to do a strength build.
You're right, but rabbits aren't strong. They're fast.
Yeah, you may use your dexterity score in place of strength for jumping. Alright, now there's really no reason to do a strength build.
Yeah, no.
Powerful jumper. Seriously, they're just literally saying use strength instead of dex.
You mean the other way around?
Or, sorry, dex instead of strength. Claws. If your feet are unshod, you can use your claws to deliver an extra d4 of slashing damage on a kick. That's not normal, because normally, the way it works is they replace the one... So normally, if a human just punches a dude, it does it just does 1 damage plus strength. So if you look at like lizard folk, it says do a d6 plus strength. Doing an additional d4 is weird.
You're not wrong, but I remember from Pathfinder days that cat folk had the d4 claw damage.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's where they got the idea, but it's kind of weird that they worded it like that.
Yeah.
And then... They can't eat meat. If you do, you must make a 15 con save or be poisoned until you take a long rest. That's some good flavor.
That is some pretty good flavor.
I don't know if I like it. It's kind of just straight downside, but hey, that's some good flavor. Not bad.
Definitely. So my next character is going to be Judy Hopps.
Who's Judy Hopps? Oh, Ha! From Zootopia.
Yes.
Not bad, not bad. Alright.
She'll probably be either a cleric or a paladin.
Nice.
With a rabbit folk, Laprine. Laprine?
No.
Yep. She's going to be a rabbit folk.
Bah.
Either way, probably give this race 4 out of 10. Creativity is low because furry.
Yeah.
And
but it is usable.
It is usable. You're right, but it does seem a little OP on the dex build. No reason to do strength. It's kind of like yeah, you don't need to do it that way because just do it this way. So that dump stat for strength could easily be just guided into your dex.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's cheating.
Yeah, you're right.
So since it's a 4 out of 10, I think that means we have to take 6 drinks.
Oh god. I don't think that's how it works. I'd probably die.
That's my arbitrary rules that I'm installing right now.
That's fair.
Give us that generator.
Alright, random letter generator, give us what you got. You! Let's see what we got for you.
You, Undertale.
Oh god. I hope not. Oh, we got a couple. Alright.
Unyielding attacker or warrior. Unstoppable sounds
right.
like a good thing.
Tell me when to stop my mouse.
Stop. Unbroken.
Your constitution score is increased by 1 for as long as your current health is lower than or equal to 2 times your level. Your AC increases by 2. Alright.
So basically, that's not bad. It's not terrible. Because if you're getting hit and you're getting hit hard, like, let me think this out. Like, a paladin level 5 has what, 50 health?
Probably around there.
Just spitballing that low con, because I don't want to do math right now.
That's high con, actually.
Yeah, it's fine. So that means taking 25 damage before.
Yeah.
And that's if you don't do anything else to slow that damage. Like, I mean, again, if you were a rogue taking that uncanny dodge, or...
True.
I'm just saying, that's not bad that all of a sudden you hit that 24 health, you get an extra 2 AC until you're healed.
Yeah, almost, but that's not half health. It's when it's lower than equal to 2 times your level. So if you're a 5 paladin with 50 HP, you have to be lower than 10 HP.
That's even better then. Because that means it only comes in when you're in dire need of not dying.
True. On one hand, 5th edition doesn't really do +2s to AC, other than shields.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, I mean...
It's just a magic shield, man. Like...
Yeah.
I think all sorcerers need to take that, and all wizards.
Yeah, but, I mean... Yeah, that's actually almost stronger on sorcerers and wizards because, like...
They have no health.
They have no health. They get hit once and they're all of a sudden in unbroken territory. This does remind me a little bit about, like, Magic the Gathering.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's an ability there called... I don't know. But it basically says when you're below 5 HP, you get a whole bunch of cool effects.
Mm.
It's almost universally garbage, because how often do you get below that amount of HP, but you don't die?
Pretty often if you're, just hit with little ball bats.
True. I don't love this one, but,
I would take it, I mean,
I don't think it's drink-worthy. I mean, it's fine if you have an odd constitution score and you want some more HP, too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's definitely doable if you're, again, just scrounging for a feat. I mean, there's better feats out there to pick.
True.
But if you were going to allow some homebrew feats in, this would be one to allow, just to see what kind of build happens.
True. I mentioned it in another one where, as a DM, most of the homebrew that, gets asked in, you have to read and allow. At least this guy's quick to read.
Yeah, it's 2 sentences. 3 sentences.
I would be a little worried about, trying to go into a fight low on HP. Like, you have your barbarian beat you up.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. It seems fine. I don't think it's OP.
It's definitely not OP, considering the average player has, 16 to 18 AC?
Mm-hmm.
And I know that sounds horrible out of a D20, but when your enemy's got, +7 to hit...
True.
That's not bad.
Also could be interesting with, I know Blade Singers get a really high AC.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they get... their Blade Song gives them plus intelligence to AC, and then their shield gives them +5.
Mm-hmm.
Add that with this +2, and they could easily have 30 AC. So I could see a build where your goal is to just go into a fight with, 5 HP, and then just pray you never get hit.
Min-max it, yeah.
It'd be funny.
That would be funny.
But
I vote 0 drinks for this feat, just because, again, it's not bad.
I think we found a good one.
Woo!
I think this is the best one we found on the website so far, so.
But,
alright.
This was Sam and Ham.
Yeah, I think this has been a pretty good video. We're gonna go crash for the night.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.